Happy Thursday. Hope you're having a good week so far. It's been busy around here. I'm going to ask a question and then I'm going to push you and ask it again. And I want you to think about it because our first response is going to be kind of like an automatic reaction to the question of, well, this is the right answer, but then what does it look like to put that into practice? Have I teased it out enough? The question is, what keeps you grounded? Like if the world is spinning around you or things happening that you're not happy with or comfortable with or things that you love to get sucked into them, what keeps you grounded in place? Now I know your automatic answer, and that's a good answer, but then I'm going to push it again and say, what does that look like for you? What do you find in that thing that keeps you grounded, and how does that play out in your life? In the church world, pulling back the curtain, one of the most difficult things that we have to deal with are two parallel responsibilities that you got to take care of both of them at the same time. One of them is to keep all the plates spinning. And what that means is that you take care of programming, you take care of ministries, you take care of problems, you make sure that all the things that we need to happen on a day-to-day, week-to-week basis are happening. And so that's that. If you're familiar with the plates on the stick and you're spinning, and then you run over here and you spin this one, and then you run back and you spin this one. That's that first thread. The second thread is to be a little more foresighted, and it's like, what do we want to happen 3 months, 6 months, a year down the road? And obviously that's going to shift because you're going to want to do things and hope to do things, and you're not going to be able to see all of them pan out. So you've got this keeping everything going at one time, and then this 30,000 foot view of what is the landscape, what's happening in culture, what do we want New Community Church to be? And to do both of them at the same time is really difficult. Especially when things are thrown at you, like when our septic pumps went out, or we had the storm and it damaged our roof. And we have other things that happen that kind of pull all of that aside. And we realize individually, all of us who are a part of New Community Church and the church as a whole have to have this thing that grounds us. And we know what that is. That's a relationship with Jesus. But what does that mean? Well, what does that look like played out? How do you know that that grounding is actually keeping you grounded? So this Sunday, we're going to talk about how the things out there will knock us off course, they'll attract us, they'll distract us, and how we develop this grounding to kind of hold us solid in place when everything else is going around us. They're not just pulled in every direction. And we are going to be pulled. Things are going to happen that are going to knock us off our feet. But to be able to develop this ability to kind of hold a lot of things that are going on at one time and still staying the course. And I think a lot of us want that out of life. We want our life to have some steadiness and some sturdiness, and not necessarily predictability, but just assurance that the direction we're going is the right direction. I think we're all looking for that. And we're going to talk about that this Sunday in our Unbecoming series, and that's unbecome, attached to the things that don't keep us grounded. This will be a tough one, and working on the message, it's going to be a lot less like instructional and more personal for you. We're putting some elements in the service that are different, that will help you deal with that. So that's what's happening Sunday. We have so much going on in the church. We're seeing attendance um, continuing to grow. It's kind of blowing us away. In fact, we had a person who's been coming here a long time, who'd been out for a while, come in on Sunday morning and said, "Where are all these people coming from?" And we're going, "We don't know, but God's doing something here. We're excited about you." We were overwhelmed in Promised Land in the children's ministry this past Sunday. We could use some help because we're thinking about, okay, how do we react to having all these kids coming? We're replacing lights all around the building. We're doing some maintenance work on the inside. We're starting a personal finance class called Managing Your Money in February. We're starting Grief Share back up in February. We're planning a church-wide fellowship in March. We're looking for volunteers for a tech booth, praise team, greeters, coffee spot. We're having to meet the need that we're finding ourselves facing, and we could definitely use some extra help. So that's it. See you Sunday as we talk about what it means to kind of like find the centered grounding when everything else is going on around us. So have a great rest of the week, and we'll see you Sunday.